So I went to the travel show this weekend, and it was a lot of fun. It was really eye-opening, all the booths they had for different countries. Also, different places in the United States, and also some in Arizona. So if you had a chance, you should go to one of these things. They have it in 9 cities around the United States. So if you live in one of the biggest cities, you're probably going to be there. Or if you're not that far away, you should. If you're thinking about traveling, you should go to one of these shows. They're really a lot of fun, and you can get a lot of good information.
Favorite place
And
or
here's this lady over here,
or wherever you
and
go,
she's
just
talked about safety tips when you travel.
stay
Do a lot of
focused,
common sense stuff
valuable
too.
information. Don't have phone
You know, like
toggle. How many
be
people
aware of.
use their phones, use map feature on their
She
phone?
she was saying she travels a
When
lot,
you're
but there's
walking around in
always
public,
somebody that
be
checks
safe.
up on her.
So
And
I
being
have
a
my
female,
phone
that's
from
important,
my
or even
neighbor, and I
me, a
take it
guy.
and go out to watch it. It
You
is
know, you
my
just never
favorite
know.
place
You
to
know
go.
where you're going to,
Okay.
and
Next time,
some of the
not
problems
always possible,
that you'll run
but
into.
to do,
So it was a
you don't
pretty
have
good
to be
lecture.
all around all the time going like this. If you need to look at your phone, take a glance, make sure you're okay, and then put it away. And then the other thing is to know your phone's emergency settings. How many people know these? How many people have even looked at that setting? Yeah, good idea to know that. On an iPhone in particular, it's going to be under the emergency SOS, and you can see all the information. I tend to have all of mine checked on. I am in the wild a lot, in the outdoors, and I want there to be an alert should I take a nasty tumble and need to be rescued. So know your phone emergency settings. And then the last thing, as far as the basic kind of tips, trust your gut. Your instinct will never serve you wrong. If you feel like something is amiss, listen to your instinct and remove yourself from the area as quickly as you can. Your instinct is always correct. All right, so let's do some pre-trip prep. First up, I just said I have a friend that tracks me 24/7. Well, I actually have a couple of friends that track me 24/7. There are a couple of ways that you can set up tracking. You can
If you're into scuba diving, it's a really beautiful place. What's really nice about these places, these travel shows, if you get a chance, go to them. Uh, you can talk to. Here's Uganda, and you can talk to somebody that actually lives there. So I was talking to him for a few minutes. Got a lot of really good tips. And now someday, I want to go take one of those little safari things. That would be so much fun. South Dakota, who doesn't want to go there? Beautiful place. That's the other one that's on my bucket list. And here's Kauai. I used to live in Hawaii back in the station in Pearl Harbor back in the 70s. It was beautiful, and the temperature was always God. It was just fantastic. It's probably one of the best weather places I've ever been to. It's just small. It's what they really have good is a good transportation system. That's in Hawaii now. Kauai, I really don't know. I didn't go there. Here's another fun thing that they had down there. These guys were filming, and you could do wear the different costumes. That lady's wearing a cowboy hat, and then record her. So it's pretty fun. It was probably about at least 2 or 3 thousand people down there when I was down there. I've noticed most of them are seem like a little bit older crowd. Here's Bryce Canyon. It's beautiful down here. If you get a chance, go down here. It's gorgeous. I think the lady was telling me I wouldn't drive myself, but I would just fly to the nearest city around there. But she said it took her 7 hours to drive down here, but it's well worth it. I remember when I got in the military, we went over to Anchorage, and God, I hate to say how long ago this was, but it was decades ago. But we landed in and I just remember it was all white. I wonder how different it is now. But that's one place I'd really like to go again. It's a beautiful area.
In Scottsdale. And if you
Now, there was this guy, his name was Peter Greenberg, and I really didn't know who he was before I came here. But he was really interesting. He was talking about the plane crashes around, well, we just had a plane crash in Washington where that helicopter hit that plane and a few other plane crashes. And he was talking about why it's happening and but he also said that this is the safest time wherever. You can't go wrong flying, And right now, the people are waving their hands. Who has a passport, stuff like that.
Okay, we're going to talk about that today too. But first, let me give you the quick update on the investigations both in Washington, D.C. and here in Scottsdale. Because the one in Washington, D.C. really affects you because it involves commercial aviation and a commercial airport. How many people here have landed at Washington National? Okay, it's a very convenient airport. But it also has the most restricted airspace in the United States because of its proximity to the Capitol and, of course, the White House. How many people have taken off from Washington National? Did you notice the immediate turn you had to make? Otherwise, you'd be right in the middle of the White House. So that restricted airspace has been there for quite some time. So what happened that night? Well, this is what we know, and I must tell you this to preface all this. Remember, in any accident investigation, the investigators have to painstakingly rule out every single thing before they can ever rule out any one thing. And so they've been able to do that now. In fact, they had a press conference yesterday in which they essentially said what I've been reporting now for the past 3 weeks, and that is this. The American Airlines plane, that CRJ 700, was doing exactly what he was supposed to be doing, and he was exactly where he was supposed to be. Nothing, no problem there.
What was really funny is these two guys, and I actually looked them up on the internet, and they actually have. That guy bought some land in California, so and he turned it into I believe, the Republic of Slow Jam Master. And it's an empty 11.7 acre plot of desert land in Imperial County. And it's right between Ocotillo Wells, San Diego County, and Westmoreland. And it's 14 miles southwest of the Salton Sea, and about 100 miles from San Diego. Now, there's no structures there, and the border is a large land by the highway. But these guys were great. They were huge. And there was like a security guy. He's not in that picture, but he's in another picture. And this guy had like the guy there. He's like a DJ. He has a radio station, and he was hilarious, man. He was talking to all the people. You could take pictures with him, and it was really funny. And you could actually become a citizen here. Now, the guy has, I believe, it was like 19,000 citizens. I mean, it's all nonsense, but he was hilarious, man. He was just so funny. Now, there's something you can't do in his country. Uh, you can't uh, you can't wear Crocs, mumble rap, people who put their feet up on the dashboard, and eating string cheese by biting directly into it. And people can apply for citizenship and cabinet positions online. Like I said before, the number of citizens is 19,000. So, he's a comedian, but and see the guy in the black, he was talking into his uh, earpiece. they were they were absolutely hilarious, and they all had accents. It seemed like accents were in the an African country. They were just funny. Like I said before, I don't know if I've been to this guy is a DJ, and he's he does a lot of I think he's based out of California, but you can look him up the city also too. Here's Mark Corona, Chief Border Patrol Agent. Come on, you got to give it up for these guys. Uh, and they were hilarious. Now, this event is held in different cities, and it's just a great thing to go to, especially if you like to travel. They have a lot of boat cruises, different uh, countries, and no matter where you want to go to. The one I was looking for is was it North Korea, where the crazy guy's at. I looked for that one, and he wasn't. They weren't there. South Korea was there, but it was pretty fun. It took me like a couple of hours to go through all of them, and they also had lectures too. In and around the events, there was always so much going on. I actually did this one over here, and you got to do it during the when the snow melts. So you really can't do it in the summertime. You got to do it more towards the like end of winter, right around there. It was so long ago, I don't remember, but uh, and it was a lot of fun. So you go down this the whitewater rafting, and you have a raft, and you go. I forgot how long it would take, like about 4 to 6 hours. Then about halfway, when you go down, you actually hit a rest stop where you can go to the bathroom if you go. And they also have a small lunch for you too. But it was a lot of fun. I don't remember what the cost was back then, but I'm sure it's a couple $100, but it's so much fun to do this. Now this travel show is in different cities, and it's Atlanta, New York, Chicago, L.A., Denver, San Francisco Bay, Dallas, Washington. And if in your city or nearby your city, and you feel like you are going to travel, it's a great place to go to. You can go to different booths of where you want to go to, and what I want to do is probably go to Europe. So that's my next goal. Probably maybe the end of the year. Depends on what price I get it for. Anyway, what I do is I go to different events in the Phoenix area and surrounding communities, Tempe, Scottsdale, Mesa, and I find out the fun things to do here. Like I always said, there's a million things to do in Phoenix. You'll never run out of things to do. And if you live in Phoenix, you got to do things early, like around this time of year. And right now we're in February, because when it comes around August, well, end of May, around there, town is pretty much dead. You know, it's going to be dead for about 3 months. June, July, and August. It just gets too hot here. It's going to get every day will be over 100 degrees. And some days it'll get up to like 115, 118. So, but I mostly go to indoor events when that happens. There's still a lot of things to do at that time. Just got to plan for stuff indoors. Anyway, if you want to do me a favor, subscribe to my channel and give me a like, I would appreciate it. And I will talk to you later.